guys want to say hello real quick again? All right. Say a quick hello to everybody. We miss you. Okay. All right. Let's start our science lesson. Please continue with all your entries every week in your book to draw pictures around them. Use colors if you can, illuminating what you put there. I love all of those pictures so much. They're great. We talked about, Miss Jenny covered the memory work from the first week. We reviewed that about the meridian. Remember that? Reciting that today? Okay, who can recite your memory work from this past week about, it has to do with direction and the sun. Do you want to try? Okay, just give it a try. You can do.
I don't know the first one. Can you tell me?
Get you started. Sunlight can.
A sunlight can.
Sunlight can
Oh,
enter.
no. What else? Tin can.
Nope.
A sunlight can. A sunlight.
Okay,
sunlight.
I'll come back to you. Jim, can you try?
Sunlight can enter a building from 3 ways.
Directions and.
But never the 4th.
Mhm.
The 4th one is north.
That's good. That's good. You got the idea of it.
South, east, and west.
Eli, do you remember the second part? Since the whole
Since the whole
path.
Since the whole path of the sun is to the south, never will a north wind or admit direct to sunlight.
Good. Good job, guys. Okay, so these past 2 weeks we have learned how we can we have learned how the sun can help us in 2 ways. So what are those 2 ways that the sun can help us know our world better? All right. Tell time and Silas.
Light.
2 new ways. So time and what did we learn last week? How we use the sun to tell.
Time.
No.
Directions.
Raise your hands. Yes. Yes, Elena. Yes. Direction and time. Ari?
Months. Time.
Yeah, and we will learn about that in a later lesson, but so far what we've talked about is how the sun can help us tell time throughout the day, the hours, and direction, north, south, east, and west, by the length of the shadow, right? Was anyone able to set up a cardinal line and find their north shadow by the length of it? Did anybody do that this week? Not yet? Okay. So this week, if you get a nice sunny day, try to set up that straight stick in the ground and check the length of the shadow from like 11:30 until about 1:30, and then make marks to see when the shadow is the shortest. And what does it mean when the shadow is the shortest? Can you tell me, Elena, or is it something else? Do you know what it means? Yes, when the shadow is shortest, it's pointing north, because that means the sun is highest up in the sky. So the shadow is going to be the shortest length. It's pointing north. And from there you can make your compass with the 4 directions. And we're going to need that compass for everything we're doing this whole semester. So it's really important for you to build a nice, sturdy compass out in your yard. Yes, Sarah?
I built my sundials out there.
Okay, I would love to see it after lunch.
I'm not done with it yet.
Okay, I love it. That's great. So, yes, Coulter. Okay, so we are moving from daytime to nighttime. Now, we're going to talk about the night sky. So I'm going to give you a cool quote that I found in my book. Listen real quick and tell me if you can tell what he's talking about. The day's bright king, now conquered, does retire. Night takes possession on the vanquished fire. The moon her peerless light now doth display, whilst soul remains till next succeeding day. The starry frames their equal power show, around the sphere with light that from them flow. It's from Ames Almanac in 1786. Okay, what was that about? Anybody understand that? What was that about? The day's bright king, now conquered, does retire. What does that mean? Yes?
That means the sun goes to bed and the moon comes out.
Yes. Night takes possession on the vanquished fire. Elena.
Actually, the moon is always up in the sky. It doesn't like go through the sky like the sun.
Yeah, so the moon moves, but yes, so this is a poetic way of talking about the times of night and day. Eli.
The vanquished fire means like the sun went out.
The sun went down, yes.
It's like fire.
The moon her peerless light now doth display.
Actually, bathroom.
Okay. Did you have anything else to say about it, Ari? Were you raising your hand? Okay. Okay, so we're moving from talking about the sun to talking about night. So a long time ago, when there weren't as many lights everywhere in town and along the streets, people could see so many more stars all the time. It was like lit up star, like you just was overwhelming the number of stars that you could see in the sky. And sadly, we can't see quite as many, nearly as many today because of all the lights in all the cities. But we can see some. Yes, Ari.
My mom went to Zion. There wasn't very many lights there, so she saw so many.
Yes. I love going to places with not so many lights so you can really see the stars and the constellations. So we're going to talk about a few constellations today, but first we're going to get kind of the big picture of the heavens. Yes, Elena.
When we were at my grandmother's house, she lives in Pennsylvania now, but when she was in Maryland, we sat on her porch right before it was going to leave. We saw a bunch of constellations and stars.
Yes. Whenever you're in a place that's far away from city lights, you should always try to look for constellations and planets because that is the best. Okay, so we're going to look in our books for a minute and get the big picture of the heavens, okay? So if we're getting the big picture of the heavens, we're going to start the closest to us and then move a little bit farther out. I'm on page 18 if you have your book and want to look along with me. Page 18. So we're going to start out with our home, which is what? Earth, planet Earth, yes. So our home is planet Earth, okay? And if we move a little bit further out, what is the next celestial body that we will come in contact with, Coulter? The next celestial body in the heavens, the next closest to us.
Venus?
Not Venus, the moon, yes. So the moon is the next closest to us in the heavens, if we're like zooming out. So we have Earth, our home, and then the moon after that. And after the moon, which orbits around us, around the Earth, then we're going to zoom out a little more to our whole solar system, okay? I think most of you know what a solar system is, right? It's the group of planets that orbit around a star. A star. And the name of our star is?
Sun.
The sun, yes. So our solar system is the group of planets, including Earth, that orbit around the sun. Yes.
Do we know what the hottest star in the world is?
The hottest star, I don't know. Okay, yes.
But there are like types of different. Ours
Yeah,
is a
there are different types of stars. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so here is a picture, page 37 in your book, if you want to look at page 37. This is a picture of our solar system. Yes, sorry. That's okay, you can just look with me on here. So page 37 shows the sun in the center, and then we have a couple planets, which we'll learn about later, that are closer to the sun than us, and then the Earth, and then the moon, and the other planets in orbiting rings around the sun, okay? So this is our solar system. So we've got our Earth, where we live, the moon that orbits around the Earth, and then our solar system, which is the whole group of planets, like our little neighborhood of planets that orbit around our star. Moving out from our solar system, we're moving into our galaxy. So everybody look up at the board, and this is our memory work for this week, so you can say it with me. A galaxy is a neighborhood of stars in the heavens. Our star, the sun, is part of the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, so a galaxy is a bunch of stars. Here's a picture of our galaxy, what it looks like in the heavens, the shape of it right here. There's many, many stars in our galaxy, and those stars have planets rotating around them. They have solar systems, okay? In our Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy is called the Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system is about right there, we think. Okay, so everybody see how this is the galaxy in the heavens, beautiful. And then our solar system, our sun, and our planet is right here. It's part of the Milky Way galaxy. Yes, Eli?
On the last picture on page 19, I thought there were only like 4 galaxies, but there are like 19.
We just don't know. We just don't know. It's so vast and beautiful, and God created it all so gloriously that it's okay that we don't know all that.
Mom, I wish
Yes.
we had known the other planets in the other galaxy. 10,000 galaxies?
Okay, yes, Coulter?
Does the universe ever end?
I just don't know. I don't know. It's amazing to contemplate. Okay. So we have again, starting close and moving out, we have our home, the earth. Then we have that God created for us to live on and sustain us. And then we have the moon orbiting around the earth. The moon, her peerless light now doth display. Then we have our solar system, which we're a part of these planets orbiting our sun. And then our sun and our solar system is part of the galaxy. Yes, Eli?
It's also confusing because on Earth, everything has an end, but in the galaxy, like, all the stars don't have an end.
The heavens, yeah, all the heavens. Yeah, so that's really good that you said that, because that brings me to a couple of Bible passages that I want to read to you guys before we start talking about constellations. Does anybody know the story of Job?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Job, God talks to Job, and he's trying to help Job understand that it's okay to not understand what the reasons why for everything, and to just trust and worship God, because God knows, because God is so powerful and created all things, and he knows, and so we can trust and be humble in God. So here's a passage that I want to read to you that kind of talks about the incomprehensibility of everything in the heavens because of how big and amazing it all is. Okay. Job chapter 38. I really love this passage. It's really cool. Okay? Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the whirlwind and clouds, saying, "Who is this who hides counsel from me and holds words in his heart and thinks to conceal them from me? Gird your waist like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me." What do you think? What does that mean? What's God saying to Job there? Gird your waist like a man. I will question you, and you will answer me. What do you think?
He's forcing him to tell what he's keeping from God.
He's saying, I believe he's saying, get ready. You're gonna have to be brave and strong, like a man right now, because I'm gonna tell you some things so that you will understand that it's okay. It's okay that you don't understand everything that I know, because I'm God and you're not, and that can be a comfort. Okay? So then he says, "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? Or who laid its cornerstone when the stars were made and all my angels praised me in a loud voice?" Yes.
That seems a little...
Of God. Yeah, what do you think the point is of God speaking to Job that way? Ari?
It's, what are lighters?
Save that question for later. What do you think, Jem?
I was just asking if I could share.
Not right now. Okay. Do you think it could be helpful to Job to understand that it's okay to not know all these things that God knows, and that if he doesn't understand it all, he can just be humble and take comfort in knowing that God knows and God is taking care of it, and it's okay. And I think that's what this is about. Yes, Eli?
A little what of God?
Coulter was asking if it was arrogant of God to speak to Job that way. It's a good question.
What does arrogant mean?
Thinking well of yourself.
Like what?
Thinking well of yourself.
Like thinking highly of yourself? Yeah. Maybe too highly of yourself, I think, would be arrogant.
Say stuff like that.
But can God think too highly of himself?
No. No, he's perfect. He doesn't do anything bad.
So he can't be arrogant. Yeah. Okay, but that's a good question. I'm going to read you a chapter from Isaiah, and then I'm going to read you one other thing, then we're going to look at some constellations. So the book of Isaiah says, "Will you not know? Will you not hear? Has it not been told you from the beginning? Do you not know the foundations of the earth? It is he, God, who possesses the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers." What does that mean? Yes, Ari.
So many, or like bunnies.
Like bunnies? Yeah. What else could it mean to say? Yes, very small. God laid out the heavens and the earth, and its inhabitants are small, like grasshoppers. It is he who stretches out heaven like a vault and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. Then further on he says, "Lift up your eyes on high and see who displayed these things. He who brings forth their host by number, he who calls them all by name." So God calls all the stars in the heavens by name. So we don't know, do we, what names God gave to the stars. But we do find some names of stars in the Bible. Do you guys want to find some names of stars in the Bible? I know you do. Let's look at a couple names, and then we'll find them on our map, okay? Okay, here's one. He who makes, this is talking about the Lord again. He who makes Pleiades, Hesperus, and Arcturus.
Hesperus.
Any of those sound familiar? Pleiades, Hesperus, and Arcturus, and the chambers of the south.
Arcturus sounds like nocturnal.
So maybe a nocturnal animal?
Animal, you are onto something, Ari. So Arcturus, most biblical scholars think, I believe, that Arcturus is referring to the Great Bear. What's the name of the Great Bear constellation? Does anybody know?
Ursa Major.
Ursa Major, yes. Talking about Ursa Major here, okay? Yes.
In a show, one of the bad guys is named Taurus.
Oh, interesting. Okay, next. Listen to this one, also in Job. "Do you understand the band of the Pleiades? And have you opened the fence of Orion? Will you open up Mazzaroth in its season and the evening star with his rays?" Do you recognize any of those? Yes? Orion, yes. Yes, he talks about Orion in Job. And the word Mazzaroth is the Hebrew word for the zodiac, which we're going to talk about later. Isn't that kind of cool? That God talks about the circle of constellations called the zodiac that wrap the earth. All of the stars that we can see are from our galaxy. What's the name of our galaxy, guys? Yes?
Milky Way?
The Milky Way. So when you look up in the starry sky, any stars or constellations you can see are part of our galaxy, the Milky Way. The patterns that we can see in the stars are called constellations. Okay? So constellations give us a map of the sky, and if we learn the constellations, if we learn the map of the sky, we can learn a lot of things. Like, what are some things that we can learn if we get to know and become familiar with the constellations in the sky? Yes?
You become smarter in the Bible and some other things.
Yes, you can understand more of the references in the Bible. What else? If you get to know the constellations and their position in the sky. Yes, Ari?
Spot them.
You can find them. Yes, you'll know. What if you know where north, south, east, and west is, and what constellations are where? Yes,
If
Ari?
you get lost, then you can help find your way.
Yes, you can help find your way. It can show you directions. And also certain constellations are in certain seasons. So the farmers used to look at the constellations, and if they saw a certain constellation in the sky, it would tell them oh, autumn is coming soon. We're gonna start planting our fall crops. Or, oh, the spring is coming soon, so now we can get ready to till the ground. They would know by the constellations and the movements, the seasons that were coming.
Oh, is that why sometimes they'll follow those almanacs?
Yes. Yes, I actually have a farmer's almanac right here. Yes, farmer's almanac. And it has cool information about the constellations and the planets in the year. Okay, so let's look at some pictures of some well-known constellations, and this is when I'm gonna have you guys do a little something fun with constellations. So if you have your Starfinder book, open it. If not, look on with a neighbor, okay? We're gonna open it to page 57. Does this picture look familiar? This whole big picture, page? Yeah, what's it look like?
What page?
Page 57.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah, it is. Okay, so when we are looking at a map of the constellations, everybody look at me over here for a second. Can you hold that so that it's turned facing? Right up here is Polaris, the North Star, and we'll talk more about Polaris later, but Polaris, the North Star, marks the northernmost point, the top of the sphere of the heavens, okay? So these are both halves of the northern hemisphere, okay? So this is one side and this is the other side. So most of the constellations that we will be able to see are gonna be up here. Look this way, guys. Are gonna be up here and up here, okay? So most of the constellations we'll be able to see and recognize are in these two halves right here. Yes, Eli?
At the top of each one, there's one Pisces and it doesn't finish the top of the rope, but on the other one it does.
Yes, yeah, because it's kind of,
Pisces.
it's because it's a sphere, so if
Pisces.
it's on, yes, Pisces, if it's laid out on paper, we can't see where it rounds, so it just kind of continues it on the other picture. Does that make sense? Because it's laid out flat as a sphere. Yes, no.
They're a lot. Not a lot, but
Yeah, yeah. There's some really cool ones. All of them are really cool, and we're gonna get to know them. So I'm gonna teach you how to use your sky map in your book. Okay, turn the page. Turn the page. Okay, and we have yes, honey?
Why are so many of them naked?
Miss Bethany.
In
What's
the
a good-
constellation?
In the these are from.
None of that with the sculpture.
They are naked because they are pictures of Greek myths and Greek art, and I defer to the art teacher.
Just use the word nude over nakedness because it's not that they don't have clothes, but it's just that they don't need clothes.
They don't need clothes.
Nude.
It's God's creation, and it's beautiful. Yes. Okay. So if you guys will look up here, please. Look up here. We'll look at this one as an example. This is Ursa Minor. Has anyone, all of you seen this constellation? Ursa Minor? Maybe some. We'll get to know it. When you look at these pages, all these pages are full of all the constellations, okay? So it's going to show you what the constellation, like the map of it in the sky, first of all, its location. Put your hand down just for a minute. When you use this book, this part will show you what the constellation is in the sky. Then it's going to have a little picture of the constellation with the name of it and the story. So it's kind of going to draw the picture around the constellation to show you what the shape of it is and what the story that's connected with that constellation is. So this is what it looks like in the sky. This is the picture of it. So this is the little bear, Ursa Minor. And this map right here will show you what part of the world will be able to see this constellation, okay? We are in the green. It means fully visible, orange partially visible, and the reddish orange not visible, okay? So where are we on this map? Can you find us, Silas, point to us? Yeah, right up in here, okay? So we will be able to see the constellation Ursa Minor, fully visible from where we are on the Earth. If you go towards the back, I think there are some others. Yeah. This one, the Chameleon, we're in the red zone here. So we cannot see this one, which means that it's going to be in the southern hemisphere. It's below the equator. I just flipped to a random one. So I'm just showing you how this map works. If you see the United States in the green zone, it means this constellation at some point during the year, or maybe during all the year, is going to be fully visible to you. Okay, yes, Silas.
The red is never ever visible.
The red, yes, the red zone means this constellation is not visible because this is the southern hemisphere. And Ursa Minor, let's look back over here at Ursa Minor. It's a little there.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so it's right up at the top of the northern hemisphere. So anybody that lives down here in the southern hemisphere is, as the globe turns, is never going to be able to see these constellations up here. Just like we will never be able to see.
The boat.
Yes. The boat, or this, the chameleon right here. The chameleon down here at the southern hemisphere. All right, so I want us to really get to know the shapes of these constellations. And I think the best way, one of the best ways to get to know the shapes so that we can recognize them in the night sky is to build them ourselves. Okay? So let's build some constellations. I'm going to assign you a constellation, and I want you, listen so you know what to do. And I want you to find that constellation in your book. You gotta find it. Go ahead. Find the constellation in your book, and then do your best to make the constellation with stars and the connections, connect the dots, which are going to be our toothpicks. Yes, Silas?
I know without looking that is marshmallows and toothpicks.
Correct.
Those are awesome.
Okay, so I want you guys to make your constellations based on the pattern in the book, okay? So, Noah, your constellation is Taurus, okay? And I wonder if I can get, since you guys are sharing a book, I might have to coordinate this a little bit. Yes.
We gotta get to the marshmallows.
At lunchtime, you can ask your moms if you may have a couple of marshmallows, but not the ones that you are working with. Yes.
Because I was about to say, because some people are gonna have bigger constellation than other people.
Right.
You get more marshmallows.
You do not get to eat your constellations, okay?
Your mother's.
We get equal marshmallows.
Your mothers. You won't want to after they
That's
have
right.
their hands all over them. Okay, can I get some helpers? One helper. I meant Miss Bethany. One helper. Just a little handful. Yes.
Are the marshmallows the stars?
Yes, the marshmallows are the stars. You're going to use this one, Coulter. Okay, Coulter, you need to find Cepheus. Oh, look, that was easy. Silas, you need to find Orion. Jem, you need to find Draco.
That's
He's right here.
Yeah, he's right there. So you guys might have to just loop the pages a little bit so you can look and maybe switch places. Noah. Yeah, they're coming. Noah, your constellation is Taurus. Taurus. I'm gonna need. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mom, you gave me the hardest one.
Yeah. I thought you could do it.
Oh yeah, of course I can.
Okay.
We're
Ashlyn.
toothpicks.
Yes.
Canis Major. Canis Major.
Oh, is this?
Eli. Perseus. I will help you. Elena. Ursa Minor. Little Bear. Ari. Ursa Major.
Oh, hey.
And I think everyone has theirs.
Mom, this is a bit hard if you ask me.
Well, you just need to do your best.
I don't think I have enough marshmallows.
You can do the main brightest stars according to the picture.
You can kind of make it.
Ashlyn Canis Major. Is anyone gonna find it impossible to share a book? Because I might be able to help with this.
Mine is.
We could.
Mine is.
What
Are
is
there
it
some that are on the same page?
We
They can
found
pair
his,
up.
but not Taurus.
That's what I was trying to figure out. You're looking
I'm gonna
for
wait
Taurus.
until you're done.
Taurus.
Says.
Okay, not in here. And you are what? Cepheus, right? Cepheus.
Okay, 11.
Got Cepheus.
So I'll look on it.
It's hard that they're not in alphabetical order.
Taurus. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't you two switch places? Switch you.
Are these in books?
Change chairs, scooch over here.
Oh, we
Okay.
can just. We can
Yeah, just keep it like that. Yeah, maybe mark the page. So you're looking here. Here's your constellation design. And you're looking here. Everybody else got their pages? Let me see. What are your two pages?
I have mine, but I can't make it.
Canis Major's Ashlyn's, and which is yours? Perseus. Okay, so that works. You can just kind of hold it up like this. Well, do the biggest, the most obvious stars to make the basic. Like you don't have to do all those. Okay. All right, and we'll hold this.
Plenty more marshmallows.
Hold that space. Okay, that's
And
good.
that time, see yours is on the left side. That's tough to see. Where's yours, Cole?
Okay.
Ah. You're both on the opposite sides.
Okay.
I'll hold it.
How are you guys doing with your sharing?
She just lined up her marshmallows
Uh-huh.
and then she's connecting them. So.
Okay, so you guys are good.
I need
All right,
to-
have you guys figured out how to share yours?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That worked out very well.
I could use
Okay.
chopsticks.
This is a tricky one.
Yeah.
You might want to
Okay,
do
so
one.
which one? You have Taurus and Cepheus.
I'm using this too.
And Cepheus.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, 69.
Yeah, I need a bit more space.
I cannot do this because you guys doing this side, I'm doing this one.
You
Okay.
might need to take turns here. Like maybe Noah and Eli could do theirs, and then
take a look at yours for a little while.
Coulter.
I know basically what to saw.
You know what? Let me take a photo,
Okay.
and then I'll let him look at it.
Draco is the.
Where's your
I think I got it.
I'm gonna take a picture and let you look at it.
This house.
Hey, Mommy, mine's a bowl.
For the head. For the,
Okay, I
Hey,
can
Mommy, my constellation.
Okay, that's good. Coulter's good. So we have down there Perseus and Canis Major, right?
yep.
Okay.
Okay.
21.
Perfect.
This is hard.
Yeah,
Draco's gonna be gigantic.
Okay, we can push stop on this.
Supposed to be.
And I will maybe start it again in a few minutes.